Welcome to Canada Today, the place where real stories unfold beyond headlines. And today, one of those moments happened. Something major just shifted in Canadian political landscape, and it didn't come quietly. In a powerful, unexpected show of unity, Prime Minister Mark Carney and Ontario Premier Doug Ford, two men who rarely agree on policy, stood shoulder to shoulder in front of the nation and delivered one unmistakable message. Canada is done taking cues from Washington. This wasn't the usual political theater. There were no vague sound bites, no scripted handshakes. What we saw was conviction, and something far more rare, alignment between ideological opposites for the sake of national strength. Because, let's be clear, Donald Trump's America has been tightening the screws, from tariffs on Canadian goods to looming threats against our auto industry. The pressure from the South hasn't just been economic, it's been strategic. But today, Canada pushed back. What Carney and Ford announced wasn't just another infrastructure plan. This was a line in the sand, a project that could reshape not only our economy, but our sovereignty. And the tone? From the very first minute, you could feel it. This wasn't just another press conference. This was different.
Last night, I was at the University of Ottawa, and I highlighted more of our new government's plan to build Canada strong, to transform our economy from one that has become too reliant on the United States to one that's stronger and more resilient, to take control of our future as Canadians. Because the world is increasingly dangerous and divided, and new technologies have brought distant threats to our door. And the trade war is causing massive economic uncertainty that is holding back investment and is costing jobs, including jobs here in Ontario. What we're experiencing is not a transition, it's a rupture. It's a sharp change in a very short period of time.
Then came Doug Ford, a leader known for his blunt talk. But today, that bluntness became something more: clarity. Ford made one thing unmistakably clear: he's had enough of Canada being treated like an afterthought. He reminded everyone that it's Canadian energy, our oil, our gas, our power, that keeps the U.S. economy running. It fuels their cities, powers their homes, drives their industries. And then, with a line that stopped the room cold, he said, "You can't bully the hand that keeps your country running." The room erupted. Because in that moment, Ford wasn't just speaking as Ontario's premier. He was speaking as a patriot, one standing shoulder to shoulder with Carney and standing tall for Canada.
You're all absolute champions who keep the lights on in homes across Ontario, as well as 1.5 million homes south of the border. I always say we keep lights on in New York and Michigan and up in Minnesota. And I always say, let's take care of our own first, but we're going to have enough energy, not just to send around the world with SMRs, but large-scale nuclear, send it down south. There's nowhere else I'd want to send it to than our closest friend and ally.
The timing of this moment couldn't be more critical. Just days ago, Trump's Commerce Secretary made a bold suggestion that U.S. manufacturing should head south, a direct threat to Canada's auto industry and the heartbeat of Ontario's economy. But Ford and Carney didn't flinch. They took it head-on. Ford called out Trump's economic intimidation tactics, making it crystal clear, quote, "Canadian workers, manufacturers, and industries will no longer be held hostage by U.S. politics," unquote. And Carney stood firm beside him. He didn't offer vague promises, he delivered intent. "Canada," he said, "will fight back, not with rhetoric, but with results. Because when you build your own energy, your own supply chains, and your own tech, no one gets to threaten your future. Not even Washington."
Friends, this is a critical moment for our province and our country. President Trump is taking direct aim at Canada's economy, workers, and businesses. It's never been more important for us all to pull together to protect Ontario and protect Canada by building a more competitive, resilient, and self-reliant economy that can keep workers on the job no matter what. We're here today at Darlington Nuclear Generating Station, which has been safely and reliably powering Ontario's economy for more than 35 years. Along with the Pickering and Bruce stations, Darlington has made Ontario a global leader, producing safe, reliable, clean, and affordable nuclear energy. And with energy demand in Ontario expected to increase dramatically, we're building on that success. For starters, as the Prime Minister mentioned, we're building the first SMRs in the G7. Matter of fact, we're leading the G7 in building SMRs right here at Darlington, with construction already underway. It's an incredible achievement, but it's only the first step. As work continues, I'm pleased to announce that Ontario is investing up to $1 billion through the Building Ontario Fund to support the construction of these SMRs. And I'm absolutely thrilled that the federal government is stepping up with its own investment of $2 billion. It shows what we can accomplish when Canadians work together across provinces and across party lines. I've always said I don't give two hoots what color of stripe people come from, as long as they work together and collaborate together. And I couldn't ask for a better champion than the person right behind me. He feels the same way. And we're going to do powerful things together and give people hope and show them the future of a strong economy. Because when Canadians work together, we can stand up to anything and anyone, including President Trump.
Carney then laid out his next steps, a bold new budget designed to ignite domestic investment and strengthen Canada's foundation. He talked about backing Canadian workers, expanding clean energy, and building up local industries that can compete globally, not for outside approval, but because Canada is finally ready to bet on itself. This, Carney said, is how we build a nation no foreign president can undermine. It's not about cutting ties, it's about standing tall. And in those moments, the press conference shifted. This wasn't just policy, it was a mindset reset. A clear message that Canada is done seeking permission. It's ready to lead, to define its own future on its own terms.
It means this has to be an ambitious, bold budget that's focused on building this economy. And we will do everything that it takes in order to do that, from reducing red tape to making generational investments that crowd in hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars of private investment here in Ontario and across Canada, including investment, as the Premier mentioned, I'm sure, from the pension funds of Canada, but more broadly. While we do that, we also need to get a control of federal spending. We will eliminate duplication. We'll eliminate waste. We will do more with less. So we're going to take some tough and we'll take some difficult decisions. We'll spend less, we'll invest more. We welcome good ideas from the opposition parties. But above all, and when they come, we will incorporate them in the budget. We're discussing for the next group of projects that will be announced by Grey Cup. And so there's a sequence here. We are just getting started, to be clear. These are major, major projects, but this is just the start of the ambition. And I think Canadians can feel confident that this country, this province has more than enough opportunity and ambition and firepower to give ourselves far more than the Americans are taking away, regardless of what happens with negotiation. Thank you.
The project they unveiled, the first under the new One Canadian Economy Act, goes far beyond infrastructure. It's about linking provinces through rail, energy grids, and advanced technology. But beyond the technical details lies something far more powerful, a national symbol of unity. What we witnessed today was bigger than policy. It was proof that Canada's real strength isn't found in partisan politics, it's found in people. Two leaders from opposite sides of the aisle came together for one purpose: to defend, to build, and to uplift. That's where true nation-building begins. And this is just the beginning. Because if Carney and Ford's collaboration succeeds, it won't just change how Canada trades or builds, it will redefine how Canada sees itself. Today wasn't just a press conference. It was a declaration. A bold stand from Carney, from Ford, and from millions of Canadians who are done playing second to Washington. They've drawn a new blueprint for this country, one where we create what we need, protect what's ours, and speak with one voice about who we are. Today wasn't about headlines, it was about leadership. And as Carney and Ford stood shoulder to shoulder, they reminded us all, no tariff, no threat, no pressure from abroad can break a country that finally knows its worth. If you believe Canada deserves bold leadership and real solutions, tap like, hit subscribe, and stay with us, because this conversation is just getting started, and your voice belongs here.